Welcome back to the podcast where structure creates freedom. Today, we're talking about something that sounds simple, but is anything but. We're talking about template creation. Now, stay with me because I know that from the outside, templates look polished. They look finished. They look obvious. But every template you have ever downloaded, every SOP you have ever opened, every checklist, framework, or workflow document started with one thing: a blank page. There's this belief that templates just exist somewhere, that someone smarter has already built the exact structure you need, that if you search long enough, you'll find the perfect plug-and-play system. Sometimes you will, but often it does not exist. Not for your business, not for your team, not your process, and not for your stage of growth. And that's where real operational leadership begins. Templates are designed, they're not discovered. Template creation is not downloading, it's design work, it's architectural thinking. It starts with questions like, what problem am I trying to solve? What decisions keep repeating? Where does confusion show up? What information should never live in someone's head again? And then you sit down with a blank document. There's no formatting, no clarity yet, just a wonderful idea. It's okay to start without a clear vision. This is important. You do not need a fully formed vision before you begin. Some of the strongest templates I've ever built started as a messy list of bullet points, notes from a chaotic meeting, a brain dump after a frustrating day, ideas from the notes that I leave in my purse or my nightstand. There has to be a better way moment. You don't start with clarity. You create clarity by building. It starts with an idea. Let's break it down practically. There are 4 different steps I want to walk through. Step number 1 is start with the pain. Every useful template begins with friction. It's never perfect. Maybe you're answering the same client onboarding questions week after week. Your team keeps missing approval steps. Files are being saved in 12 different places with 12 different naming conventions. Meetings feel repetitive and reactive. Now, that's your signal. It's friction. Friction is the data. Step number 2, defining the outcome. Before you design the structure, define what good looks like. What is your ultimate outcome? What is your goal? So ask yourself, what should this process procedure look like? What decisions should this eliminate? What confusion should this remove? What should someone be able to execute without asking me? Now you have direction. Step number 3 is where you create the first version. Remember, this will be imperfect. This is where most people stop and give up because it doesn't look polished yet, because it feels incomplete, because it's not Pinterest worthy. And that is absolutely normal. Version 1 is not supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be functional. It might just look like headings without content, placeholder sections, questions you haven't answered yet, adding commentary on the sidelines just to remember what your thoughts are, incomplete flows, and that's fine. You're building the foundation. And step number 4 is where you refine through use. Templates are not theoretical documents. They're operational tools. The real magic happens when you actually put it to use. When someone is there to ask a question and it's not documented, you update it. When something breaks in the process, you just adjust it. When a decision wasn't clear, you clarify it. These templates evolve. They are living documents. And as you're refining through use, make sure that you're getting everybody's feedback, those that are involved. Feedback is important because what you might be thinking of documented, it may be in somebody else's head that needs to be documented. So make sure you open it up to others to use and others to provide feedback. Feedback is good. Now, not all templates exist, and that is okay. There is no universal template for your leadership style, for your nonprofit organization, for your consulting engagement model, for your sales process, for your creative workflow, and that is okay. Sometimes you have to start from scratch, and that's not a failure. That's just ownership. And honestly, that's where your competitive advantage lives. You're creating something from scratch to help others out as well. It will be appreciated. Structure is built, it is not bought. There's nothing wrong with using existing templates and tweaking it. They can actually accelerate the learning and the process. But true operational maturity happens when you say, this needs to reflect how we actually operate. A sales department does not operate the same as a services department. You build your templates accordingly. You may have the same structure and the same framework, but ultimately your template relies on you and your business and your process and your department. Now, that's how master SOPs are born. Governance frameworks are built. Decision trees become standardized. Onboarding systems become scalable. It begins with one document, one idea, one attempt. You don't need a vision. You just need a starting point. If you're sitting here thinking, I don't even know what my final structure should look like, good. Where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. You don't design the entire building before you pour the foundation. You draft, you test, you refine, you optimize, and then you operationalize. Clarity is iterative. It takes time. It takes more than just a week or a day. It could even take several months, and that is okay. Take your time because ultimately, in the end, you want something defined and documented that you can use over and over and over again, where you can actually teach somebody else the process. So, as an owner, as a manager, you can actually walk away and delegate those tasks to the representatives or the resources. You're actually able to provide them the guidance that you have been holding back since day one. You're actually going to be able to walk away and go on that family vacation that you've been dreaming of without interruption. Now, the blank page is not empty. It's a possibility. That blank document, it's not evidence that you're behind. It's proof that you're building something intentionally. Templates, again, take time. Structure takes thought. Framework requires iteration. And that process is not rushed because when it's all done, it reduces cognitive load. It protects your time. It removes dependency. And actually, it stabilizes growth. If you're waiting for the perfect template to appear, stop waiting. You might end up waiting a very long time. Open a document today. Name it. Write that first header. List the first 3 bullet points. Start messy because every structured business you admire started exactly the same way with a blank page and an idea. And that's more than enough. If this episode helps you shift how you think about structure, share it with another leader who's building something meaningful. Help them help you. And remember, you don't need to see the whole blueprint. You just need to start drawing. Now, start creating, optimize, and operationalize this process today. I'll see you next time.